There are numerous types of elephants found in Africa and Asia, with 3 distinct species and at least 3 subspecies. The African bush elephant, aka African savanna elephant, is the largest of them all. It's actually the largest living terrestrial animal on the planet. The African forest elephant was formerly considered a subspecies of the African bush elephant, but it has since been reclassified as a distinct species that was separated 2 to 7 million years ago. They're smaller and have more rounded ears and hairier trunks than their cousins, with a dwindling population of around 100,000. As its name implies, this type of elephant prefers dense forest habitat, with most of them found in Gabon. They primarily feed on fruit, with leaves and bark making up the rest of their diet, and live in smaller, more isolated groups of 2 to 8 family members. There are 3 different types of elephants that are currently classified as Asian elephants, Indian elephants, Sri Lankan elephants, and Sumatran elephants. But some studies also consider the Bornean elephant as a 4th distinct subspecies. Bull elephants, males, can grow up to 13 feet tall at the shoulders, measure up to 30 feet from trunk to tail, and weigh up to 14,000 pounds. Perhaps that explains why elephants are the only mammals that cannot jump. An elephant's trunk weighs around 400 pounds and contains around 100,000 different muscles. But, thanks to the elephant's special physical features like finger-like appendages at the tip, they're also nimble enough to pluck a single blade of grass. Unless you're ambidextrous, you probably prefer to use one hand over the other. Elephants are the same way about their tusks. Some are lefties, others are righties. They'll favor that tusk when fighting other elephants, picking things up, or stripping leaves and bark off trees. Because of constant usage, their preferred tusk gets shorter over time. Elephants have highly developed brains, not to mention the largest in the entire animal kingdom. Their brain is 3 or 4 times larger than that of humans, although it is smaller in proportion to their enormous body weight. Elephants have an extremely slow pulse rate, around 27 beats per minute. The elephant's trunk, which is called a proboscis, contains 16 muscles. It's very similar to that of their ancient ancestors, the mammoth and mastodon, with a large muscle on the top and sides of the trunk allowing elephants to raise it. Elephants are incapable of jumping, but these massive mammals can run at a maximum speed of 25 miles, 40 kilometers, per hour. Asian elephants have 5 toenails on the front feet and 4 on the back feet, while African elephants have 4 on the front and 3 on the back. Unlike the hair on most mammals, the hairs on an elephant aid in cooling down its body in the hot climates of Africa and Asia. The tusks on many female, and sometimes male, Asian elephants, which usually measure just 1 or 2 inches in length, are called tushes. Elephants have incredibly poor digestion, with only 50% efficiency. As a result, they release an incredible amount of gas, methane, and produce around 250 pounds of manure a day. Elephant skin is over an inch thick. Elephants from the same herd will often use touch to greet each other, either wrapping their trunks around each other or giving each other friendly, hello, taps on the body. In addition to the familiar trumpet blast sound they're known for, elephants also purr much like cats do. Research has shown that elephants communicate over long distances using a subsonic rumble that can travel over the ground faster than sound through air. Other elephants receive these messages through their feet and trunks. Elephants are highly sensitive and caring animals. If a baby elephant complains, the entire family will go over to touch and caress it to soothe it. Elephants often pay homage to the bones of their dead, gently touching their skulls and tusks with their trunks and feet. Elephants are highly intelligent animals, and studies have shown that they possess a variety of complex emotions and feelings, including deep compassion and surprising self-awareness. Like humans, elephants have large cortexes in their brains and are not born with survival skills. They have to learn these skills from older elephants in the early years of their lives. Elephants have deep family bonds and tight-knit groups of related females and their offspring. Each herd consists of anywhere from 8,100 elephants, all led by the oldest, and often largest, matriarch. When a calf is born, it's raised by the whole herd. Males usually leave the herd between the ages of 12 to 15, living solo or temporarily hanging out with other males. Elephants are herbivores and need to consume 300,400 pounds of food per day. In addition to grasses, leaves, bamboo, bark and roots, they also known to eat crops like banana, sugarcane and the African elephant's favorite sweet marula fruit. Elephants can give birth until they're 50 and an elephant's life expectancy is 60-70 years old. The oldest on record, an Asian elephant named Lin Wang, died at the ripe old age of 86. In addition to smelling, trumpeting, drinking and grabbing things, elephants can use their trunks to breathe, like a snorkel, in deep water. Elephants must migrate seasonally in order to find food, relying on their memories of previous food and water supplies. Hence the old saying, an elephant never forgets. They will also migrate to avoid poachers and other threats, even moving during the night to avoid traveling during the daytime, when poachers are most active. On average, elephants spend about 16 hours of each day eating everything from grasses, small plants, and bushes to fruit, twigs, tree bark, and roots. Part of the reason they eat so much for so long is because they ultimately digest very little of the food they eat. While they're migrating in search of food, elephants spread seeds around the land where they have eaten, making them an important part of their ecosystems. After eating, seeds are released through elephant dung. One South African study found that elephants are capable of transporting these seeds up to 40 miles. In addition to eating massive amounts of food, adult elephants drink 30-50 gallons of water every day. They use their trunks like a massive straw to suck the water up, but then they actually squirt it into their mouths to swallow it. During the dry season they'll dig to find water, making huge holes in seemingly dry stream beds with their feet, trunks, and tusks until they reach the water supply. In this way, they also create watering holes for other animals to drink from. Elephants are known to be social creatures, and female elephants in particular. Elephant herds are matriarchal, with older females taking turns taking care of the calves and protecting them while traveling from place to place. The family structures of Asian elephants are somewhat smaller than those of African elephants, which often number up to 25 individuals. Depending on the availability of food, elephant families can split into smaller units. In the early 1900s, African elephant populations were estimated to be in the millions, while there were around 1,000 Asian elephants. According to World Wildlife Fund, today there are around 700,000 African elephants in the wild, and just 32,000 Asian elephants. In 1989, CITES, Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, banned the international ivory trade. Yet poaching for ivory has been steadily increasing, with 800,000 African elephants killed over the last 3 decades. An elephant's tusk can weigh up to 22 pounds. Each one is worth $10,000 $15,000 on the black market in Asia, where they are used to make everything from billiard balls and piano keys to chopsticks. In addition to poaching, habitat loss and conflict with human populations are key threats facing elephant populations. Climate change projections suggest key elephant habitat will become hotter and drier, so poor foraging conditions may threaten the survival of more calves in the future. Most Asian elephants used in the logging and tourism industries, including those offering rides, performing in circuses, or painting in the streets, have been tortured in a horrifically cruel training regimen known as fajon. The process involves tying a wild elephant up for several days, beating them into submission, and leaving them to starve, with the goal of crushing their spirit. Elephants are instinctively afraid of bees. Elephants have the longest pregnancy in the animal kingdom, lasting 22 months from conception to birth.